We've got a delivery to the studio, something new to check out. Let's open it up. Ooh, pretty. Woohoo. Ho ho ho. So the good people at MeloAudio have sent me the Midi Commander, a MIDI foot controller, and with that they have also sent the EXP001 expression pedal. So we're gonna check these out. Okay, so I have the Midi Commander plugged in via USB, and if I go into the audio MIDI setup, you can see there it is. It just pops up automatically when you plug it in. So when you're just in the standalone mode of your amp sim, it's very, very easy to set up the MIDI. All you need to do is click on a component and just do whatever you want on the MIDI controller to trigger what's going on inside the amp sim. So I'm going to use the looper within THU because I'm going to do that in my practice and in my recordings. So all I'm going to do is select on screen what I want the controller to control, and then I'm going to select which button basically I want to activate that control on the screen. So record, obviously, for a looper. So right click and there's Learn Global MIDI. So press move the MIDI control twice, then click OK. So what I need to do is to press the whatever button I want to use twice. 1, 2. So all I need to do then is 2, D, t, just to demonstrate the loop. And the loop is going, and that's it. Now I need a way to stop it, so I'm going to select another button to stop it. Let's do C. And that's going to stop it. Okay, and then I could do button B will be the trash it, to delete it. So my loop is deleted, and then it's like that. And I can play over it, and it's that simple. And delete. The MIDI controller can be used to change any parameter within the amp sim that you're using. So I could use it also maybe to change the presets as I'm recording. So if we go into the MIDI window and I see here we've got previous preset, next preset, it's the same process as before. If I click learn and then it says press the controller twice, I'm in a different bank here, I'm in the first bank of the controller, press D twice and then that's been learnt. And previous, simple, just up twice and then it's done. Okay, so then as I shut that down, I'm playing along, and then just with that button, something about this D button, it sometimes jumps. And I have all the presets on hand to be changing as I'm recording. Now to come on to the expression pedal, it's exactly the same process to set it up as with the pedals. So if I wanted to use it, for example, with this volume pedal in this preset Trem World, then all I need to do is right click, learn the MIDI, and then I'm just going to move the expression pedal. And then I have my volume swells. So the expression pedal can be used for volume. It can also be used for a wah pedal. Let's just demonstrate that real quick. Go into the components, and if I go cry maybe, I'm going to chuck it into the front here. The process will be the same. You see, I just right click it, learn the MIDI, waggle the expression pedal, and then wow, wow, wow. Now the expression pedal works great with the wah, but there's just a slight issue with the value not going all the way up to 127, which is the maximum, because then I don't get, for example, with a whammy, we don't get the change going entirely into tune. Let's just demonstrate that. So MIDI controller. Bip, 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 bip. Learn that MIDI, move that, and then we go bang. just doesn't quite hit in tune, which is a bit of a downer for this particular unit. But I can't fault it really for its ease of use. So that's how you set up the controller just in a standalone mode. We're now going to have a think about how you set up the controller within your DAW to make sure that you're recording both the audio and the MIDI changes. So the problem with MIDI when you're in a DAW and recording guitar is that the MIDI changes, the patch changes, don't get recorded when you're playing along. If you're recording and doing some patch changes, changing some effects or volume, whatever it is, that doesn't get recorded. So there's a very specific way that you have to set up the DAW so that it records both the MIDI changes and the audio. So this is how you do it. So what we're going to do is start with a software track. And my instrument, MIDI control effects, my amp sim of choice is the THU by Overloud. And you see the output, what we're going to do, we're going to send it to one of the bus number 1. And we'll see why in just a moment. Create that. So here is my track, and then here is my THU. Let's check it into just the preset there. Now nothing's happening yet because we have to click in the side chain, and I'm going to select my guitar input, which is input 1 of my Focusrite 2i2. So input 1, and then we've got things happening. Check the levels. They seem okay. You're probably not hearing that yet because I'm not recording the actual audio. We're just getting it set up. What we then need to do is set up an audio track that will record what comes out of this track. So I'm going to set up a new audio track. The input is the bus that we were routing the first track to, and then the output will be the stereo out. So I do that, and I'm gonna mute that one so I don't hear it. And then anything that comes out of track 1 will be recorded into track number 2. We're then ready to start setting up the MIDI controller. So we want to just double check that the MIDI controller is being picked up by Logic. It should be, but let's double check. MIDI in the preferences and inputs, we can see there it is, and it's on. Another way to double check that is to go Command and 0, opens the environments window. And if we look at under clicks and ports, there is the MIDI input. And if I press the buttons there, you can see in the input view that those program changes are being picked up, and this is the channel. So MIDI channel 2 and program changes 5, 6, 7 as I press the MIDI commander. So the setup is then identical to what we saw earlier in the video. If I drop to, let's have a look at a different setup and see about assigning the MIDI controller to a pedal to activate a pedal on and off. Maybe this tube screamer here, this tube 9. If I right click within the THU window in Logic and follow the same process, learn global MIDI, hit the button twice I want to use to activate it, and then there we go, it's there. Now you can do that on as many effects as you want, and the looper or the expression pedal, however you want your setup to be for that recording session. So then you just make sure that both tracks are armed to record, get your tempo and everything set up as you would normally, hit record, and then you do your performance with all your MIDI changes, and that will then be recorded in track number 2. Let's do that a little bit. As we move that out of the way, we can see then this audio track has been created, and that then will be the audio with the MIDI changes within it. Let's just disarm those and then have a listen. And that is how you record a guitar part with the MIDI changes included. So there you are guys, that is how you can set up a MIDI controller with your favorite amp simulator, and then how you can ensure that in your DAW all those MIDI changes will be recorded. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new to the channel, and as you do so, don't forget to ring that bell. I'd like to thank MeloAudio for sending me the Midi Commander. Couple of gripes I had with it, for full disclosure, was the issue of the expression pedal and the whammy, which we saw earlier on. And once or twice some of the pedals weren't quite performing as I wanted them to. I got a couple of clicks when I only wanted the one. That said, it might be a decent unit, especially if you are a positive grid user, as it has presets for jam up and bias effects, their iOS and desktop amp simulators. Also, if you are a user of the Axe Effects or Kemper or Atomic hardware, this might also be an option for you, as it has presets for those units, and I know that the official foot controllers for them are very expensive, certainly when compared to this unit. So you can leave questions and suggestions in the comments below. You guys have a great week, and I'll see you next time.